Good evening, Suns fans. All right, we got about 24 hours. The Suns YouTube channel, Sundo, they just dropped a video or something on YouTube saying 24 hours. Maybe it was just like a little, like a little sand timer, emoji.
Hourglass.
You get
they're
the
called,
idea.
Gabe.
You get
they're
the
called
idea.
Hourglasses, okay?
Well,
that's what they're called, sir.
Well, I feel like that could
They're
be
called
racist to Egyptians, but
glasses, bro. They're called hourglasses. You know what I'm saying, bro?
What's up, Modzilla, Baby Boy, East Metro? Listen, you guys wanted us to do a pre-regular season little special the night before. Here we are.
Yeah, man. So fun to be on here the night before.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Look, man. I'll be honest, I don't even know what to talk about. I don't really have a bunch of topics off the top of my head other than, just excited to start the season. What do we expect to see? What do we hope to see? We could start off with the big topic that was in the Discord, because everybody really be killing me with this topic in our Discord. And it was a few days ago, and I got a little spat with the people in the Suns Valley community, and that was this, Gabe. Let's just talk about it. Everybody's like, Beal should come off the bench. Beal should be sixth man of the year. Beal needs to come off the bench. And I asked everybody logically, what good does that do us having him come off the bench?
Mm-hmm.
And people said, well, he could score more off the bench and blah, blah, blah. And he could help with the second team. And then I was like, I understood that argument last year with the way that the offense was ran last year, where it was just nothing but pick and roll, switching, get the matchup you want. And it was just ISO gang, right? But that's not the offense this year. So why in the world would we want to have Beal come off the bench this year? And nobody had a real answer other than, he could just score more off the bench, and I want to see Ryan Dunn start instead. And I'm like, look,
that's so premature.
I know. That was what I was saying. I was like, bro, we don't know what Ryan Dunn is.
That is premature.
He doesn't have that much experience in the NBA. He's just a rookie. Let him come off the bench. Like, we have a point guard now, like Mo Dizzle just said. Like, let him just, like, he's going to be in a starting lineup. You saw what the offense looked like. There's a lot of ball movement in this offense. You have Tyus Jones handling the ball. It's going to be fine now. Like, that whole Bradley Beal needs to come off the bench is an old trope. I guess it's the right word I'm looking for. An old trope that we got to get rid of immediately.
Well, just for the sake of argument, I'll argue the other side for you. And I've always been on your side of this. But I was thinking about this, like, how you have thoughts right when you wake up in the morning, like, or all night you're sleeping and things are just kind of like going through your head that are random. One of me random thoughts was about bench Beal. And I was just thinking, like, I understand why people are worried about him, because he's showing the first signs of slowing down on court, and the first signs are inconsistency. Sometimes we get Wizards Beal, and it is a pleasure. But sometimes we get one thing Beal talked about when he went to college was, like, his first couple years in college, he's a good dude. He's a good teammate and a good Christian man. And he wants to be amenable to people. He doesn't want to ruffle feathers. He's a team player. He wants what's best for the team. And if that means him taking a back seat, then he'll do backseat Beal. And backseat Beal isn't Washington Beal. And so they're trying to figure out, how do we get you to be Washington Beal? Because when you're on the court with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, you're not Washington Beal. We mostly get backseat Beal, who can be very good, but can also be sporadic and turnover prone and get punked by the other team prone.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, but like what we've seen in the preseason, we haven't seen that. Like, yes, he is the lesser of Booker, Beal. I mean, he's the lesser of Booker and Durant. That's just a given, right?
It's not his team. He's the third there. He was invited in like a vampire.
Yeah, and that's my point. He's the lesser of the three, right? So he's not going to look as good as the other two, but he is a good scorer and a good option, especially with the way the ball's moving in this offense. And then now that you have Nurk shooting threes, it's going to spread it out. You got Tyus Jones out there. Then you got freaking our boy off the bench. Gosh, why can't I think of his name right now? Gray Goose off the bench, and O'Neal was looking good in the preseason. Then you got Dunn come off the bench, who also looked good in the preseason. Then you got Oso and Plumlee. Like, it's going to be fine. Like, he's not everybody. I think everybody's expecting him to be a 20-point a game scorer. Like, I don't think that's going to be a thing. Like, he is going to. He is going to be great,
though.
It would be.
What did
he
ever say last year? Like 18.4 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, but that's probably it's going to be more of the same again. Like, that's what you're going to get. He will definitely be the third option. He will definitely be the I hate saying this, the Chris Bosh of what's going on here, right?
Actually, no, don't hate to say it. That's a great.
Like, he's definitely going to be that guy. So, like, we just got to just chill out. Like,
do you think
he's not going to go back to being Wizards? We got to accept that he's not going to be Wizards Beal. Like, he's just not going to be.
Do you think that Heat fans went through that when they got Bosh, where they're like, what is this? Like, why aren't we getting Raptors Bosh? Raptors Bosh was like a top 2 fantasy basketball player because statistically nobody did more than him.
Yeah.
And he was a statistical monster. And then he got to the Heat and he knew he's the third wheel, so he just wasn't as aggressive. It changed the way he played. And, dude, I think that's exactly the perfect parallel for what's going on with Beal.
Shot Bosh, though. They called him Big Shot Bosh because what did he do?
Yeah.
And he hit those shots. Like, he was the big. So, yeah, like, it's just the whole thing with Beal coming off the bench is just not going to be a thing. He will be the Chris Bosh, and he will be the one scoring 15, 18 points a game, and you're just going to have to deal with it. It's going to be Booker and KD scoring the most, and then, you know, we're going to have some points coming off the bench. I'm more excited the fact that we have what seems to be depth more so than the prospect of Beal. Everybody's saying that the Celtics have confirmed that they're going to win the finals yet again after their performance today against the Knicks. As if the Knicks just didn't do what we pulled last year, and they got to figure that whole thing out.
Man, they got so much talent, bro.
Yeah, they pulled what we did last year. Made a big trade, a big splash, and
couple splashes.
They've got to figure that out, bro. And that's
they
the crazy
grabbed
part.
McHale and they grabbed Cat.
So, and then you expect Tom Thibodeau. Is Tom Thibodeau still the coach still?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so have him figure that out. The things are going to have a rough start.
Tibbs and McHale is a great combination in theory. You know, Tibbs coaches so hard, wants his players to play super duper hard and always play and play a lot of minutes. Like McHale's Iron Man, Andy's a defensive.
Jump shots ruined though, apparently.
Wody, Brody. Like, what are we doing? How does that happen? How does that happen where, like, I could see every once in a while he's got that weird hitch, but, like, every shot comes out like that? How are you not doing it on purpose, bro? How could that just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I ain't got no control over me arms no more? Like, what were you doing before?
Shooting with Booker.
By the way, my league, remember I told you they're recording?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they do a full, this is crazy. There's this app that my league has now where it tracks everything that happens in the game.
Yeah, you told me
it makes highlights for me. It pre-cut clips of highlights of me. I gotta show you, bro, my jumper It looks better than Torrey Jones's right now. That's all I'm going to say. And he blocked Peyton Pritchard.
I like it.
So what does that tell you?
Romps asked you, what about them low lights, though?
That'd be even better. I should ask for them to start taking low lights.
All right. So anyway, let's just start with the Beal coming off the bench. It's not happening. And let's move on. How do you feel, Gabe, about this team's overall? Do you think that we will win more games this year than we did last year? Let me just start there.
Yes. All about health. But even, let's say we had the exact same amount of injuries as last year, I still think we're deeper, so yes. But that's the thing, dude. I don't want to be the guy that's saying we're deep.
This first 6 weeks, bro. This first 6 weeks is going to be it's going to prove this first 6 weeks is going to immediately expose whether we have depth or not. Let me put it that way.
Well,
if you're worried about depth, if you're going to be like, I don't want to be the guy that says we have depth, we'll find out in these first 6 weeks. How about that?
Thank you. Like, let's make it a thing where like we aren't calling this team deep.
Yeah, let's make sure we confirm this early.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
And the first 6 weeks is going to confirm this super early, whether we got depth or not. The amount of
we did this last year.
We're playing, bro.
Guess where your boy Jordan Goodwin's playing?
Memphis still?
Lakers.
Nah. That's crazy. Not LA.
Can I show you my new KDs? I'm dying to show you my new KDs.
Is this a Suns Valley podcast, or is this Gabe talking about his basketball career podcast?
Well, it's related. These are Kevin Durant shoes.
All right, why you do that? Avi says score prediction for tomorrow.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That means I have no clue, but I want to sound.
I really don't know. When we're playing the Clippers, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was Lakers.
Is it Lakers or Clippers?
I thought it was Lakers.
Clippers, then the Lakers.
Tell us, people.
Pretty sure it's Clippers and then the Lakers. Clippers, Lakers, and then the Mavs in the back-to-back. I'm pretty sure it's how it goes.
Anybody in the chat have a clue?
I know they have a clue. And I'm pretty
Katie
sure
says
right.
Lakers.
Yes. Suns and Clippers tomorrow, then Suns and Lakers on Friday, and then the Mavs on the back-to-back. That's how it's going. Gonna be great. Anyway, someone says Suns win 115-108. Do the Clippers don't have anybody. They're not playing Kawhi. Paul George isn't there. Who do they got now? I know they picked up some people that we like, but did they establish enough talent to be a threat like that? Like 15-108, I feel like is being generous, in my opinion. I think that we win not handedly, but we win where it's like we're going to be chilling and not pulling our hair out at the end of the game. That's just the confidence I have right now.
Why do you have confidence, KPJ, you cuck?
It's because what the Clippers did this offseason. If we were playing the Mavericks, I wouldn't be this confident.
You see that Kawhi ain't even considering playing right now?
Yeah, that's my point. Like
no
he's
PG.
Indefinitely, bro. Yeah, no PG. That's my point. Like the Clippers are not going to be the same Clippers.
I will say this though. Harden,
Russell Westbrook.
Harden was extremely good last season in the first half of the season. He was fresh. He might be able to make things interesting that game, but I do expect to handle the Clippers in the beginning of the season. Bro, if they're not down early, if they're not having struggles early in the season, nothing will make sense to me.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I just feel like that's going to be a thing. Like Harden will get his, but who else in that team do you expect to get to just burn us? KPJ?
He might be sneaky to deal with, you know, might be very difficult to deal with. We should be able to outscore these guys, though. We should be able to outplay them. We have the better roster right now.
Who they picked up, so
they picked up tons of good players.
So I had to pull up their roster. Derrick Jones Jr. They signed him. They still got PJ Tucker. They got Kevin Porter Jr. They've had Terrence Mann. Chris Dunn, remember? We wanted Chris Dunn. They got him. Other than that, bro, I'm looking. Are you afraid of Derrick Jones Jr. like that? Are you afraid of Kevin
He,
Porter Jr. like that? Are you afraid of Chris Dunn like that?
those are the types of players that if they're playing like a cohesive team that's sacrificing for each other can beat anyone on any given night.
Yes. Yes, I agree, but now that they're being, those dudes are going to be dependent.
Bro, if we
on
come
the
out
stuff.
cocky and arrogant like we always do.
I don't think we're gonna come out cocky and arrogant. I think we're gonna come out focused and ready to play. That I do believe that. I don't think it's gonna be a repeat of last year. I think this team learned from last year. I think Booker being focused and playing in the Olympics, I think he's ready to go. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that whole talk of I don't see how anybody's gonna guard us, that's gone. That's gone. I don't think it's gonna happen again. I think this team's focused. They better come out and smoke this team. That's all I'm going to say, because there's no way that this team that the Clippers are putting on the court right now, minus James Harden, and we're talking about an older James Harden, by the way, not prime James Harden, an older James Harden, like, and Chris Dunn and Kevin Porter Jr. It shouldn't be close. And if it's close enough to scare us starting off the season, I'm going to use excuses and just say rust, even though we had an amazing preseason. But if it continues, we're going to have issues. But I just don't see how the Clippers will be able to keep up.
Let me paint you a picture.
You can paint the picture all you want.
Okay? And I just want to know your thoughts. So, first game, we do our pregame. Everybody's having fun. Sundo, show us your elbows.
Oh my
God.
Sundo,
show us your armpits.
You already know it's going to be like that. And then as soon as it goes bad, what's going to happen?
So that's what I'm saying. Slow down here. So, we're flat and we go down 20-7. Iverson's in there. My question is, are you shocked or are you thinking... Well,
shocked at who?
At what you're seeing
at the team
in this moment. Are you shocked that we're down early, big,
in the first quarter
to start the game? Just down.
I will be. I'm not gonna say shocked.
You ain't gonna be shocked,
but I will be taken aback. Right? Like, wait a minute.
You'll be upset.
I'll be taken aback. Like, wait a minute. We thought, the way we looked in the preseason, the way this offense. Okay, hold on. Time out. Let me throw it back at you, because I just thought about this. If the ball's moving and we're just not knocking down shots and we're down, I'll be fine. If it looks like last year and there's a lot of ISO game and pick and rolls, then that's where I will be shocked and upset. So it just depends on how it looks, right? If it's just ball movement, Tyus Jones moving the ball, Kevin Durant moving the ball.
That's a very fair point.
Yeah, Kevin Durant getting the open shots, the ball's moving, dude's just not knocking shots. Cool, it's just not your night. You're not hitting shots. But if it goes back to last year where it's my turn to run ISO game and let me do the pick and roll and we'll do the switch, and now I'm waiting until 10 seconds in the shot clock and then I'm going to drive. If it looks like that, then we got problems. I don't think it's going to look like that. I think my scenario where dudes are just cold because they just can't hit their open shots is going to be the thing if that scenario happens that you just laid out. But that's it.
Yeah,
and if that's the way, then I won't be upset.
Yeah,
but
I won't be upset
if it
either.
goes back to ISO game, yes, sir, I will be upset.
Ruben, this is why you ain't no member. This is why God's plan doesn't involve you. Okay?
He's a member, though.
I meant Metro?
Metro. Okay. Okay. You said Ruben.
My bad, Rubes. Never disrespect you, Ruben.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, back to the thing. I think we win against the Clippers, and I think it's like 115.
I think we do too. I think we do too.
Or something like that.
It's just
115 or 100, 120 to 100, something like that.
You reminded me of the improved ball movement, and I do expect the ball movement to be better than it was with Frankie, especially once things started getting bad, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's the case that the ball movement is guaranteed, then one of two things will happen that you described. We'll either be up big or comfortable or tied at worst, or shots just aren't going down, but you can tell that it'll get corrected because we're just missing shots that we're creating good ones, you know?
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think that's how it's going to go tomorrow. So I don't think there's going to be just the way we looked in the preseason, the way I know how Bud's going to do, and the way this team has been focused coming in. And I mean, let's be honest, there has been a real focus this off season, and they seem to be really locked in about what they're doing, what they need to do. And so I don't think there's going to be a letdown as far as operations go. There may be a letdown as far as knocking down shots and execution, but not in actual, basketball operations go. So anyway,
18 points a game for Beal. You don't think he cracks 20 this year?
I just,
how? It's like, how could he like, there's so much weaponry on offense.
That's my point. Between Booker and Durant and Beal, then you have Tyus Jones, who's going to knock some shots down. You're going to have Greg Goose is going to knock some shots down. Royce O'Neal actually looked good this all preseason. He'll knock some shots down. Ryan Dunn's looking good. Knock on wood that he continues to look good as a rookie. We forgot about Damian Lee. He's out there. Nurk's going to start throwing up some shots.
We will definitely have to talk about Nurk shooting,
or the Plumlees, or even the deeper parts of the bench. The Monty Morrises, like, we haven't even gotten there yet either. So,
answer me this,
Colin Gillespie.
Riddle me this. If you can remember, was how we feel about this bench the way we felt about last year's bench? Because remember,
so this is what we did. I feel like there's a few things that happened last year. We didn't understand how the CBA. I think people didn't understand the new CBA, and I think teams didn't understand the new CBA and what was going to happen. And so I think what happened was there were still a lot of those mid-tier $20 million a year contracts still in the market. And so teams couldn't get rid of those contracts because of the CBA. So teams had to pick up minimum contracts. And we happen to be one of those teams that got screwed into picking up those minimum contracts because of what happened. I think when some of those mid-tier contracts,
let's go through them one at a time.
So I think, well, let me just go back. So I think, one, nobody understood how the CBA was going to work out that first season. It was still a working out progress. We kept hearing the narrative, there's no way the Suns are going to fill that roster because the second tier, the second apron, and because blah, blah, blah. And so when we started being sold on players like Yuta by KD, when we started being sold on players like KBD from Gary, who sold us a lemon, whenever we saw
hold on. Because even Torrey, the hater of all haters, the coldest, wettest blanket on the planet when it comes to Suns basketball, even he was like, bro, you guys got Yuta and Keita Bates-Diop? He's like, those were the two like dark horse free agents that I had where it was like, these are the two most valuable guys on the free. Both of them stunk it up. Yuta don't even live in America anymore. They pulled his green card.
That's crazy.
Kamala pulled his green card when she saw him shooting threes last season. And we can't tell her we don't agree. It was that bad. Keita Bates-Diop turned into a beta male. That's what beta stood for.
Beta mates Diop.
Yes. Okay. Beta male Diop.
That's
all
crazy,
right.
bro.
That's what he turned into. Eric Gordon turned into a fat fuck. Sorry.
That's the key one. That's the key one that really kind of hurt, was the fact that we thought he was going to be 6th man of the year, bro. We even were talking about bets for it. Like, man, I think Gordon will be 6th man of the year, bro. And he just did not.
Bro, the one player that showed promise was Metu, and he never got to play.
And Bobo, and they never got to play.
Yeah.
We had Jordan Goodwin in the trade that we were excited about. Yeah, so I get what you're saying. Yes, and the depth last year wasn't good, even though we thought we had depth. But the problem is, like, I think we can be more excited about the depth we have now because one, everybody agrees across the board, Gabe. Everybody and their mom agrees across the board. Tyus Jones was the steal of free agency. All right. So we can already lean on that. Even though he's in the starting lineup, he's not a depth piece. But that automatically put O'Neal on the bench. That automatically put Grayson on the bench. So you already started off with two good solid depth pieces already. Okay. And then, of course, you had the draft that we had. We'll see how those rookies go. But really, the Monty Morris pickup looks even better now that you were able to get Tyus Jones. The only concerning depth piece that I see is Plumlee.
Okay, and I've been a Plumlee hater to start, but he did play. His last couple of games were pretty good. He showed us good Eubanks the last couple of games. Okay, he's still Eubanks in my eyes, but he showed us good, better version of Eubanks. Do you guys agree in the chat?
No, Eubanks is Plumlee at home.
Yeah. But he was good, man. Like, for him, for what he does, he did it well the last couple of games. So I'm trying not to be as harsh on him.
So, yeah, I think he's a good backup center. I think he's fine. And then we also have Oso.
We have an open roster spot, by the way.
Colin Gillespie, Jalen Bridges. I think, honestly, if we don't sign anybody, I think it's Colin Gillespie gets that last roster spot.
Should be.
As much as I want it to be Jalen Bridges, he hasn't shown enough this, preseason to be the guy that we have been saying that he was or being told that he was. And I think it's just taking him some time to really find his way. I think he will, but Colin Gillespie, to me, is looked as established as any veteran you could get out there so far.
Well,
I think he will get that roster spot.
What about Monte Morris? I think he's done a better job than I think Monte's done a just as good of a job.
I'm talking about all
better.
the two ways. I'm talking about all the two ways that we have.
Okay. My bad.
Out of all the two ways, Colin Gillespie looks like an established veteran, not a two-way player. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I think he deserves the last roster spot. But again, that's a depth piece that you don't have to play because you have Monte Morris, right? So point being is we had a good draft, we had a good offseason. I think we're going to be solid. And I do have confidence I have a lot more confidence in this depth than we did last year. I think last year was just, again, a little premature. Again, we were sold on a few players. I think the really big one was we were celebrating the Eric Gordon signing because we really thought that was really the key.
That was a perfect storm of disappointment.
Yeah, that didn't work out. I also think having Frank Vogel and his putrid offense didn't help either, and none of the role players could work within that offense because it was a lot of ISO game. Oh, here you go, throw up a shot, people. Like that's literally what it came down to. And so I think it was just like you said, it's just a perfect storm of disappointment where I think some of those pieces were decent depth pieces. They just weren't going to work out in that offense. And then, perfect storm, dude gets fired, you get a new coach. Now we're on to this year, and it looks like we have depth because of the offense and the way the ball moves. Play random.
That play random shit is so old. So old already, bro.
I love it.
Like, I'm embarrassed for him that our and like, no offense to whoever actually asked the question. Like, it's not a bad question, but I just felt bad for him that it came across as kind of like, hey, remember that time you sounded like a dumb bitch? What was that about? Like, that's how that kind of came across to me. It's like, leave the man alone. He beat the F out of us. So clearly, play random doesn't need to be questioned anymore.
Or mocked.
Let me show you these shoes. I'm dying. Because you're a very judgmental
take a break and
man.
Show me the shoes.
Well, you're very judgmental, and I want to know what you think.
Mental. Katie said they were ugly, so I'm going to believe
she don't
her.
like them.
All right, she said they were ugly. I'm going to believe Katie.
Don't judge for yourself.
All right, we're taking the break from the podcast. Let's see this man's shoes.
It's kind of related. All right, first I'm gonna show you the bottoms. All right. Oh shit, oh, you're not even gonna be able to really see them because they glow in with the green screen. Dang it! Actually, kind of looks pretty dope.
That does look pretty cool on the screen. I'm looking at not the green screen version.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to tell. You're not gonna be able to tell because of the green screen. Point is, they're dope.
I can see them. They can't see them. They look pretty decent.
Can. Okay.
Yeah, I can definitely see what they look like. You on the people on the podcast definitely can't see it. It definitely looks it does look cool on the screen because I'm looking.
Crazy, right?
It looks pretty crazy, but I can definitely see them. Those are okay. I'm not like the biggest fan.
Yeah, I wanted the Metro Boomin.
Looks more like a Power Ranger shoe.
Yeah, I think they'll look really cool on court. You know, basketball shoes are different, bro. They're not going to be worn with jeans and.
I do need to get me a new pair of basketball shoes. I just don't know what I'm finna get. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, the Bookers will feel great if you can. You know that dad colorway you like? Get those. You can't go wrong. Bro. You can't go wrong.
I remember I didn't get the Curry 2s. I really wanted the Curry 2s, the straight fire dad shoes. You remember when Curry came out with those? Straight fire. Should have got those, but I didn't.
Ugly ass shoes.
That was a long time ago, though.
All right. Back to Nurk shooting threes.
Yes, let's talk about this. So what do you want to talk about?
Do you feel comfortable? First of all, do you feel like what you saw of him shooting looked any different than last year? Or do you not remember?
I remember he was god awful last year from the 3-point stripe. So to see him, at least in the short sample size that we had in the preseason, of him actually being somewhat consistent, I want to say makes me more confident, but it's also a small sample size, and he could have just been very fortunate the first 2 games. So we'll see. I do like the idea, and I do like the fact that that's being encouraged, and it seems to be a focus, unlike last year. So I do like that, and I do think it'll be very helpful to stretch the floor with him, not only with his passing ability, but also the fact that he can hit threes will definitely help out.
So you think he can? Because we only saw one preseason game. He went 2
That's
for
what I'm
4.
saying. Small sample size. That's what I'm saying. So I hope he can. I don't know if I think he can. I hope he can, because if he does, then not only will his playmaking come into be key, but his shooting will be key. It spreads the floor even more. Now, if only we can get Plumlee and Oso to follow suit, but that's not going to happen.
Lazy Squatch. Can you imagine? Whoa, that'd have been hilarious. Those are expensive, bro. I ain't spending if I'm spending $500, it's gonna be on a pair of very rare retro Jordans or Kobe's.
Kobe's. But Nurk shooting. What were you gonna say about Nurk shooting?
So last year, it looked like a medieval. What are those things called? Catapult.
Trebuchet.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked like some shit that the orcs were using.
Trebuchet.
Okay. Yes. It was just slow. Everything. The wind up was slow. The release was slow. It never looked like it was going in. Of his 4 threes that I watched, he looked sped up in a positive way. It looks like, whether it's just mental confidence that I can do this, so like I'm not scared to shoot, there's no hesitation, that could be a little bit of the speeding up. I'm sure on purpose he's trying to. It looks smoother to me, man. It looks smoother to me.
I mean, when you get to work on it as a focus, hopefully the repetition makes it smoother and better. Like I said, I don't think that was supposed to be the focus for him last year. I think Vogel wanted to use him as a traditional big in his system, and he wanted him to we also didn't talk about the fact that Nurk apparently lost a lot of weight. Maybe Vogel had him put on some weight to be a bigger anchor, and maybe that affected the way Nurk shot or the way Nurk played. But it seems like this year he's looking a little slimmer. It seems like that's a focus, and if he can make it work, that'll be great. Like it's just another weapon.
I think they think he's arrived as a shooter that's going to be not a disappointment. Like to the level of where we're going to be comfortable with him shooting. I think they think he's there. Yeah. But I don't know what Brooke shoots, but I think they don't think he's
what did Brooke shoot in Milwaukee?
Right. I don't know. But I don't think they necessarily think that he's that good.
If he can beat Brooke Lopez in Milwaukee, like
he ain't gonna be that good.
I'm just saying that comparable. I'm not saying that good, but if he can just
close,
be comparable, close, then yeah, you'll take that.
I think that's why they got rid of Frank.
Take that.
I think Frank didn't shoot great. He shot okay. He shot, he shot, and then Nurkic comes out, slaps a couple out of 4, and they're like, yeah, those all looked, we're good. We don't need to have someone whose specialty is shooting because we are going to get the shooting out of Nurkic this year. And I'm just worried that that's premature, that you can take one game sample size. Bro, I mean, I had a game in pickup where I went like 9 for 12. Like, that's not always going to happen. You can't, if that was the one game that you would have paid me or something. Like, you would have earned a pay if you could just charge someone off of one game. But it's not like that. Like, he could go 0 for his next 10. And it's like, we got rid of Frank? Ooh, we don't have a shooter now. Which that is the last thing on the team that they addressed. So it doesn't seem like they're that worried about having a big shooter. I was just wondering what you thought.
Or they do think that Nurk can get it done.
One way or the other. They do.
I'm that dude says, did the Suns get taller or no? No. I mean, it kind of stayed the same if you think about it. I mean, they still have Nurk. They picked up Oso, who is the same size as Eubanks as far as size goes. And then they picked up Plumlee, who is about the same size as Eubanks. 6'10" also. And then they kept Bol. So they kind of stayed the same. Now,
but they added Ryan Dunn. He's 6'8".
Adding Ryan Dunn add some length and some height. And then, who else they pick up in the free agency?
I'm trying to think height-wise.
That's it. Everything else is point guards.
Yeah.
So they kind of stayed the same, honestly, if you think about it. Like, you replace KBD with Ryan Dunn, and it's basically about the same. You still have Okogie. I forgot about Okogie. We were talking about depth. We completely just forgot about Josh Okogie, right?
And Okogie looked good in the preseason.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We feel
Big Mercs has lost Kaminsky.
Gave up Kaminsky, man.
Did he end up finding a team?
No, I don't think he did.
No, then they made the right choice.
Wow. I mean, it did just happen.
I'm just saying, like, if bro ain't found a team yet, nobody's clamoring for his services. You can always pick him back
nobody
up.
Was. He had gotten left off of the
Mallow
Hawks team.
Stop it. He's overseas because he's not good.
Malo, you should watch his games though, for real. Like, keep track of him. We'll hear about it.
Love Yourself says Elise Shaman got cut. Imagine that. His boy wasn't there to keep him on the team.
That dude said Okogie was fired. He really was, man. He played a fearless brand of basketball in the preseason. Hopefully he continues that. Lazy, I don't know, man. He's been in the league so long. Do they send old players to the G League? I don't even know if they do that.
Freaking, yeah, they do,
I guess
bro.
So.
Did you not see that?
But that was to rehab IT.
We had Jahlil Okafor on our team, bro. How long has he been in the league?
Do you think Squatch, is he going to the Valley Suns, or were you just suggesting it? Because if it's not a bad suggestion, and if it's true, that's awesome. Like, I'm not shitting on that idea. I love it. I hope he is.
Mo Dizzle, I know that's a big thing because everybody was waiting for it. LeBron and Bronny got to play together early in the game today. Making history. Congrats to LeBron. I'm not mocking him, for real. Congrats to LeBron. It's pretty cool to see, even though the way you did in the offseason was a little sus, but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Shout out to LeBron James. That's pretty cool. Juan Frankie says, I feel we can actually win the chip. We are a sneaky picking everybody's bets.
We have to see though.
A lot of execs like our team this year. And I'm with Gabe. We'll see.
Yeah, because Juan, think about last year where we all were, and I'd be shocked if you weren't there right with me and Sundo. Last year, beginning of the season, before the injury started, you're going in with this big three and shooters everywhere. Weren't we thinking the exact same thing? I feel like we can actually win the chip last season, and it went so horribly wrong. But I am on the optimistic side. I am on the side that really thinks that things turned around for the better. But we're gonna have to wait and see, man. Like there's just, I don't know. Yeah, Squatch said we're so used to being disappointed. I'm trying to get ahead of it this season and just say, let's go ahead and be pleasantly surprised instead of devastatingly let down.
You can go that route.
A lot of teams get better when they retool like this in that second year, when they've had a year to play together and they saw what they need and added it. And I think we added what we need. We needed Tyus Jones. And I'm not saying we just went out there and took what no. God opened the sky up and said, I feel sorry for y'all. Here's Tyus Jones. And we said, we don't deserve you, God or him. And he said, believe that. Believe that.
I'm sure it's how it went down.
You don't think that's what happened?
It's perfectly to the T. Mal says, once Shamit is healthy, would you stop? No, Mal, stop it. Stop trying to bring back the old days, bro. They're gone. Shamit. Monty Williams isn't a coach. Shamit's not a player. We're going to put it that way.
Those days are over, folks. You need to concern yourself with Bud. All right? It's all about Bud playing random. B47 says Suns season prediction. So you said how many games?
We didn't even get to that because we kind of stopped talking because I was like, hey, how many games do you think I just asked, do you think we win more games than we did last year? And then you said, yes.
Even with the same health problems.
And then we kind of stopped talking about it.
That's when we got into the depth.
Yeah. Suns season prediction. I think we end as a 3 seed. Suns 3rd seed.
Why? I like where you're going. I just want to know if you have good reason.
All right. Well, let's do that. Give me a second here, and I'll tell you.
Because obviously OKC is at the top of everyone's mind, right? I mean, OKC is going to be, if healthy, a problemo.
I'll say, let me pull up the bracket. See if I can't remember this. Okay. So we play the bracket. Nope, that was last year. That was the year before. Hold on a second. Bracket
Lakers.
No. We played the Wolves first. Hold on. I picked 2023, and I was like, we didn't play the Clippers because we got bounced. Okay, so that last year Thunder were 1, the Nuggets were 2, the Wolves were 3, the Clippers were 4, the Mavs were 5, we were 6, Lakers 7, and we were 8. All right, so just going off last year, Timberwolves, did they get better or did they get worse?
I think worse.
They got rid of Cat. They got worse. Now, I do think they got a little bit more annoying and a little bit more physical with who they picked up. But that also is going to require health. I don't think they're going to be as good, but I do think they're going to be good and solid. All right. Clippers are number 4. I'm looking in the camera because you know how I feel about that. They're cooked.
We ain't doing that this year.
Unless the Lakers have a renaissance, maybe. All right, so that leaves the Thunder, the Mavericks, and the Nuggets.
The Lakers will get helped through all season, whether they deserve it or not.
Okay, so that leaves the Thunder, the Mavericks, or the Nuggets as your teams. The Nuggets kind of feel like they're taking a step back, though they always have Joker and they still have that starting lineup that is really good. So I think there's a chance for us to get 3 because of the Nuggets taking a step back, and maybe the Mavericks kind of do what they did last year, where they look as bad as us in the beginning and then they soar. You know what I mean? Maybe not. Maybe they look really, really good. I don't know, but I think it's going to be between us, the Mavericks, and the Nuggets and the Thunder for your top 4 teams, and I think we end up being 3. Eastman says Nuggets got slightly better with Westbrook. I don't feel like they did, bro. I really don't.
I mean, I don't believe in the Westbrook to the Nuggets, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Malik Wilson says Mavericks definitely got better, right? So you got to look at it that way. So I do think it goes Mavericks.
Well, Malik, please explain to me, because I talked to a guy that I hoop with. He's a Mavs fan. I said, how do you feel about your team? Do you feel like you guys got better? And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, we got Klay Thompson. And I said, don't do that. Don't do that.
Was it sarcastic? We got Klay Thompson.
No, he was serious. And I was like, do you really think he's going to bounce back? Like, because he seems like he's pretty much washed. And he's like, well, yeah, I think he could. And I'm like, I guess if anyone could fix him, it's Luka. But once your shot starts to go the way his did, and his ego when he's out there doesn't allow him to not take bad shots. And like, I don't, it seems... And maybe it's hopeful, wishful thinking.
So they re-signed Brandon Williams. They signed Spencer Dinwiddie, Kessler Edwards to a 2-way.
What? Oh, okay.
I'm looking at their transactions.
Not Walker Kessler Edwards.
No, Kessler Edwards. They got Quentin Grimes from Detroit for Tim Hardaway in draft consideration. They got Klay Thompson. So we might see some Quentin Grimes minutes for the Mavs. I don't want to see that, because you know how we feel about Quentin Grimes. So did they really get better? Because I'm looking at it right now. And who did they draft?
Thought they drafted well.
Because they lost Derrick Jones Jr.
Malik,
they lost Derrick Jones Jr., who was a good piece for them and a solid player. And wasn't he a starter too?
Malik, Klay doesn't like being a third option. And his catch and shoot is waning. Like, look at his stats. He had games last season where he went off, but more than not, he was the one that was off.
See, I'm just looking at the Mavericks transactions, and they didn't do anything scary in free agency. I don't remember who they drafted. Hold on a second. Who did the Mavericks draft? Melvin. I don't even know how to spell his last name. And Ariel, some dude. So they drafted in the second round, and there's a bunch of depth pieces. So again, I will ask, and I'm not being sarcastic, did they really get that much better?
We'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
They still got Klay and Kyrie.
I just think losing Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be a bigger deal than we think. Quentin Grimes for Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway was there and fitting. Quentin Grimes.
Don't forget about Derek Lively, though. Their center is Klay Thompson, star.
Derek Lively, that's true.
Daniel Gafford, star.
One, I don't think Suns will be better than Mavs. I just don't think the Mavs got that much better than what people are saying. I just think they've been flying under the radar as far as that goes. 2 second-round picks, unless they are just completely steals, I don't think it's going to work out. Quentin Grimes is do you think that Quentin Grimes is a good piece? Or
I think it's a good bench piece. I think it's a good bench piece to have. Yeah, for sure.
And then Klay Thompson, right? That's tough. I don't think
he's going to be their X factor, man.
I don't think the Mavs got that much better, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're going to be the same, and they were still good. So that's not a shot to them. That's not a shot at them. I just don't think they got that much better. I just think they're going to do more the same of what they had, and they think they got a young squad together, which they do, Lively and Luka and Kyrie, and they still got good pieces there. But I don't think they got that much better. So
Right.
I still think we finished 3. Someone said something about the Kings could be dangerous. I forgot about the Kings, bro. I forgot how they didn't make it because they were in the play-in.
But you know who they picked up in the offseason?
Who did they pick up?
DeMar DeRozan.
That's interesting.
Yes, sir. That's Fox's new backcourt running mate.
That's actually interesting.
DeMar
With
DeRozan.
Mike Brown as a coach?
Think so, yes.
Yeah, they yeah. They're going to be look out for the Kings. That's a good point. Whoever said that. Look out for the Kings. I do like that. Blazers are going to be even more dangerous. Junie says, okay. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I mean,
yeah. But my point, but back
chance.
to my point. But back to my point is it when you go through this, who made it last year, and then we'll throw the Kings in the mix because I did like what I heard and saw there. I still think we're top 4 seed. Still think we're number 3. I'm just looking at it.
Do you think it's us, Nuggies, and Thunder?
I think I don't know if the Thunder are going to repeat. But they're so good though.
The thing about them is that Shea plays a lot. He doesn't usually miss a lot of time, I don't think. And his game and the way they play is built to win regular season games. He goes to the line 364 times a game. And they win their games because he gets them like 30 free throws per game, guaranteed.
Pelicans, they got better. Pelicans, that's another team that could be sneaky.
Malik, who did they get better?
Let's look at.
I forget.
Look that one up.
So much happened. Oh, they got. Did they get what's his face Murray? DeJounte Murray, I forgot.
Yeah, I'm looking at the transactions real quick.
That's a good pickup.
So in July they re-signed Valanciunas, got DeJounte in a trade for Dyson Daniels, Cody Zeller, EJ Little, who we ended up getting, and Larry Nance Jr. Whoo! They drafted our boy Messi to a rookie contract. Remember? So that's a big man they picked up. So now they have him and Jonas. Ugh, that's gonna be nasty.
Did they trade Jonas or they still got Jonas?
No, they re-signed Jonas. Antonio Reeves. They still have our boy Trey Jemison. They claimed him off waivers last year. They re-signed Alvarado. That
Jonas is with
the
Wizards, says Malo.
Okay, I didn't see. I'm looking in there, but it says they re-signed him. It says re-signed Jonas Valanciunas.
Maybe they re-signed him and then moved him.
That might be it. So they still have Missy, Trey Jemison.
That's bottom tier, bro. That's up and coming babies.
Calvin, our newest or welcome back horseman, I believe.
Calvin got a job. Welcome, Calvin. Well, we got to give him the horseman.
Give him the horseman.
Maybe a double horseman.
You know horseman. What? I agree. I think the Pelicans are going to be nasty.
Horseman.
Kings and the Pelicans both are looking to be dangerous in the West. So that will be a challenge. I still think we're going to be. Sham says Trey Jemison is going to be their center. Oh, imagine that. Imagine that, Gabe.
Well, I'm really interested to see what kind of stats he can put up as a starter. Sorry, not center, but starter. That's going to be interesting, right? Considering we had him.
I should be a basketball scout.
All right, just stop right there. I ain't gonna let you get away with
He
this.
says Trey Murphy. Oh, no,
because,
I'm sad, baby Mallow.
Because I was the one that said Trey Jemison was gonna be a stud.
Stop it. Please be quiet. But anyway, Mallow.
No, okay, but what I do want to say, because that was a lie. So
wasn't Pelicans the one they were gonna go small ball?
Yeah.
That's.
But if they're playing Trey, they're playing. They're gonna have a center if they're starting him. But All I'm saying is just because they're starting him does not mean that you were right. He's a star. I think it
I
just
never said
means
that.
it could mean
Never
that
said
they
that.
are just that hard up for a center.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
It's one or the
I'll
other.
give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
They could just be that
you're-
desperate. They're like, oh, I guess
You
Jemison.
are definitely right.
Like
You're
when the
definitely-
Bulls used to throw Bill Wennington out there.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
Okay.
Also, Lonnie Walker. I don't know, Juan.
Lonnie Walker had
we haven't made any
one
moves.
good game for the Lakers, and now everyone thinks he's
Yeah, we haven't
Anthony
made any
Edwards.
moves. I don't think we waive Frank for Lonnie Walker. I think we waive Frank for one of these two ways in our team.
a white one of them.
That's what I think.
Gillespie.
And you never did confirm what I asked you to confirm, and I should probably just done it myself. Anybody in the chat who knows? We should probably ask Tori this too, and we're going to expose ourselves for not knowing the CBA as well as we do, as well as we should. But if anybody in the chat, do you know if there is a rule in the CBA, if there is a certain deadline that players have to be signed by before their contract is guaranteed for the season? And is that date in January where everybody says, hey, you can't trade certain players until January? Forgive our ignorance. If that's the case, let us know. Because I have a theory that they will wait to sign one of these two ways to a full-scale roster contract in January. That way they don't have to pay them and juguarantee them money. December 2nd, Junie just said.
Who do you
There you
think's
go.
running the team? Ish or Sarver, your boy? I think they'll just do whatever makes the team the best. I don't think they're going to worry about money.
Why wouldn't they?
Because Ishbia don't care.
Jesus, June 2nd is my birthday. Never mind. I'm going to look it up. So forgive me. I just want to know. I'm exposing us for not being the experts that you think we are. We are just a bunch of bums who like basketball.
They think we're
forgive
experts?
me. I mean, some people do. Some people ask our
Man.
ask our opinion. They value our
Imagine that. What's up,
they
Malachi?
value our opinions and expertise, in the chat. So,
What's up,
but
Kevo?
your boy doesn't know the CBA.
Kevo said YouTube didn't even tell him we were live. Well, one thing that can help with that is if you guys hit the like button. That literally makes YouTube be like, oh, we
Also-
can make money off of
Also,
you.
Gabe didn't make the thumbnail, and then he was like, "Oh, it's scheduled," and then we went live and didn't give it a chance to sit there in the algo. You know, what
It
I'm saying?
sat for like 15 minutes.
It didn't sit for 15 minutes. It sat for less than 15 minutes.
Mm.
Usually, got to give them 30 minutes before they get their notification. They didn't even get that, so it's kind of on us, The troll on patrol says, "I'm a kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down." Whoa!
Question about Ric Flair. Was he always with WCW before he came over?
Now he's with NWA.
NWA, and like when he was young.
When he was young, he came up in NWA.
And where was
you
it?
watched? Did you not watch the McMahon?
I'm not
documentary?
done with it. They barely talked about
They
Ric Flair.
explained the territories in episode 1.
Yeah. Okay, but they didn't say Ric Flair was up there. They just brushed over it.
They did say that Ric Flair was in NWA, but they didn't go into that till a bit later. But Ric Flair was an NWA wrestler, and then whenever Vince McMahon started to, do what he was doing, and then that's when WCW kind of was in hoots with Jim Crockett, and Jim Crockett was there with NWA, and that's how Ric Flair ended up in
I think
WCW.
I've always gotten NWA and NWO confused, and you can understand that.
And then Ric Flair went to WWE for a little bit, and then he went back to WCW.
Yeah, we got to talk about that more later because that thing is so.
A Mouse says all NBA
Interesting.
contracts are guaranteed on January 10th. Okay, so what happens after that, though?
That doesn't that mean that's when we have to get rid of our two ways?
So that's my question. So I'm just trying to figure out if there's a loophole. Maybe they're gonna wait. If not, I'm just spitballing business because I know it's how some people like to do things. Maybe they're just gonna sign Gillespie to a full scale contract soon. Motiz, a good night, guys. See y'all tomorrow for the game. Yes,
Later,
sir. Speaking of which, someone's going to have to go to bed soon.
Understandable. I say we turn this into a members only stream after we end.
Why would you do that?
So Metro can't go back and watch it.
That's crazy. Why would you do that to Metro? I mean, isn't it enough that it's God's plan that he's not a member? You got to just rub it in his face.
Yeah, I feel like we owe it to ourselves to rub it in his face, you know?
This
we don't have Burner here.
We'll have Burner tomorrow. We'll
probably be there tomorrow. Should we do anything special for tomorrow? I have a rec game at 7 and the game's at 9, so I'll be back in time.
Anything special for tomorrow? Yeah. I'll be at church, so there's nothing we'll be able to do that special. I'll be gone.
Okay. What time you gonna get home? Right before the game?
Yeah, I'll get home like 8:30.
Okay. Suit and tie.
The Troll on Patrol becoming the newest horseman.
That's crazy. People becoming horsemen of their own volition.
So. Horsemen. Really
give them a couple of them.
Horsemen.
Junie, I'm ready. I'm ready now. Okay. I'm ready to take Tori 1v1. But he's scared to fly to Texas.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And he thinks the
boogeyman is down there.
He's just scared to fly. He doesn't like flying.
You can drive down there, dog.
So far, it's like a 24-hour drive. 27.
And if it's going to get him the views to play you on ball, I would do it.
I highly doubt the views would be that good.
You know, we'll give him the Suns Valley podcast rub. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'd rub him down all right.
That's crazy. Eastman says, I bet 1,000 on Tori right now.
It's probably a good bet. That's a good bet. But
yeah, I'm be real with you. When you're playing Tori, you're playing a young man's game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm shooting well. Might be able to shoot right up over the top. Right up over the tippy top of him.
Yeah, but isn't Tori like 6'3"?
We're the same height. I mean, he might... We'll see when we get him.
Again, just know that if we was to play ball with Tori, he's getting Bruce Bowen 10 ways. Bruce Bowen, ain't no way you're going to freaking dunk on me. Okay.
Your version of setting a screen is you're just gonna run behind him, get down on all fours, and make him trip over you like old
tiger
school,
uppercut, bro.
You know?
Yes, sir.
And then he's like, foul. You're like, all right, cool, give him the ball. And then I'm guarding him. You sneak behind and just give him the old China, you know, from behind.
The old China from behind is crazy, bro.
You know, wasn't that her move?
Yeah. Gabe, can you dunk?
No, not right now. I have dunked, but not right now. Not right now. I'm bulking right now.
The knees aren't there for him right now, bro.
Boy's bulking. Little heavy. But I'm working on it actively. I'm doing one-legged squats of different variations. And it is the most... Sundo. It's sacrilege to say this, but it's like a spiritual experience doing one-legged squats when you have leg strength.
I'll believe you, and I won't do it.
It sucks.
I'll believe you, and I just won't. I'll take your word for it.
It's the worst.
I'll take your word for it. You know, I have no problem taking your word that those
Bowen.
suck. You know,
yeah, that'd be your name, Bruce Bowen.
Hey, facts,
okay,
right. I already told you I'm 5'6", 5'7". Tori's way taller than me. It's just not a thing.
But he ain't getting past you.
He might get past me.
He better shoot the second you check it to him every time.
Bro, he may get past me, but that nigga ain't he ain't going to the rim. I tell you right now. He's getting a trip. He's getting a ball grab. He's getting wrapped up NFL style. I don't care. Okay? It's not going to be a thing.
You're going to be launching at his knees.
Bro, ACL gone for him, bro. All right? Torn Achilles, high ankle sprain, all of that. That's just how it's going down. So, right, you may think, "Oh, this is basketball." No, sir, this is life. Okay, this is life, and life is
This
tough.
is about your ego not
My
getting
ego
hurt.
for sure, bro. Can't go back. Can't go back all-star. Can't go back without blood. All right. When I play Tory Jones.
Poor Tory.
Can't go back. Sundo, when John Cena was in his prime, were you a fan, neutral, or smart? I was neither because I didn't watch wrestling.
Whoa. What's a smark?
A mark. I don't know what a smart means, but
what's a mark mean?
A mark is like super fan.
So like a stan.
Basically, yes. But no, when John Cena was in his prime, I didn't watch wrestling. So I took a break. I stopped watching wrestling right before the Ruthless Aggression era started, and then kind of occasionally knew what was happening in between, but then didn't come back until 2019 when I started watching again, when Kofi Kingston won the championship. That was really what got me back into watching wrestling, and then Vince McMahon screwed him over about 8 months later, but that's a different story.
All right, man. We'll let you get some slorp.
Slorp? That sounds perverted.
Yeah, let's just sleep. Hopefully. Baby
Mouse is a player must be placed on waivers by January 7th, or the contract is fully guaranteed by January 10th. Gotcha. So
we'll keep an eye on that.
There's nothing that says that the contract's guaranteed after, just before. But that also means that two-way is going to be guaranteed. So maybe that's why they wait till then. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought that was a theory I had, but evidently I'm wrong.
It's all good. We will be back tomorrow night, man. Are you going to be able to hang tomorrow night?
A good question, dude. I'm driving tomorrow, so that means I don't have to drive the next day. So I might be able to hang a little bit and then try to catch a nap on the way to work, if that'll work out.
Should I get a White Devil in the background ready to go, ready to pounce?
Nah. I can last until at least the third quarter.
Stay back, White Devils.
I should be able to last. We'll see. Like I said, I can always it's the first game. I might stay up and then I'll go to bed and then I'll just nap on the way.
Hopefully, we'll have them basically put away and you can just call.
That's my point. I hope that's what happens. But
God, that'd be awesome.
Who knows? That'd be a great way to start the season too.
Well, Horseman and Metro.
You Horseman and Metro.
All right. We will see you guys tomorrow night. Season premiere of Suns Valley podcast live streams.
Horsemen, time 10 Eastern.
It's gonna be a big one. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that like. What the hell's going on with this? What the hell? There we go.
Boy, what the hell? Get ready for the season tomorrow, because Booker never did that move. But anyway, I'm pretty excited. Y'all should be excited too. There's no really Suns win because we haven't played yet. Sun season starts tomorrow. Horsemen.